Script begins immediately. The first and most profound indicator is not that she looks at you, it is how she looks at you. In long-term committed relationships or even in the process of dating, a gaze of familiarity develops. It is the gaze of a partner, a roommate, a co-manager of life. It is a gaze that says, I know you. You are the person who forgets to take out the trash, or you are the person I make weekend plans with. This gaze is about connection, comfort, and domesticity. The gaze of desire is fundamentally different. Psychotherapist Esther Perez's entire body of work is built on the premise that desire is not a product of familiarity, but a product of otherness. Desire requires a bridge to be crossed. When a woman secretly wants you, her gaze will shift. She will look at you perhaps from across a room at a party, or even from across the dinner table, as if she's seeing you for the first time. This is the gaze that contains curiosity. It's a look that holds for a fraction of a second too long. It is an appreciation of you as a separate sovereign individual. She's not seeing you as her partner, she's seeing you as a man, an entity separate from her, with his own world, his own thoughts, his own power. In that moment, she's rediscovering you. This gaze can be unnerving because it is not passive. It is an active look. It is the look a person has when they are observing something or someone they find genuinely compelling, mysterious, and attractive. It contains a spark of what PLL calls aliveness. She's seeing you not as the person she has domesticated, but as the person who remains in some small way, untamed. This otherness is the oxygen of eroticism. The look is a signal that she is seeing and desiring the part of you that does not belong entirely to her. This is not a simple flirtatious glance. It is a look of psychological recognition. It says, I see the person you are independent of me, and that person is who I want. It is an acknowledgement of the tension between security and adventure. The familiar gaze provides security. This other gaze signals a desire for adventure. The second significant sign is a conscious break from routine manifested as play. Esther Perel often contrasts the domestic world with the erotic world. The domestic world is built on responsibility, logistics, schedules, and repetition. It is the world of did you pay the bill and what are we having for dinner? The erotic world is built on spontaneity, imagination, playfulness, and a delicious hint of risk. When a woman is operating in the domestic sphere, she's often in the role of caretaker, manager, or partner. It is exceptionally difficult, as Perel notes, to desire someone you feel responsible for. Desire requires a different energy. Therefore, a powerful sign is when she initiates a shift from the domestic to the erotic through play. This is not about a grand planned gesture. It is about the small moments of spontaneous rebellion against the mundane. It might be a witty, sarcastic, or teasing text message in the middle of a workday that has absolutely no logistical purpose. It might be her suddenly putting on music and dancing in the kitchen while you are trying to read the mail. It might be a physical gesture like a playful shove, a sudden nonsensical whisper in your ear in public, or the way she accidentally brushes against you. This playfulness is a signal that she is consciously stepping out of her role as the responsible adult and inviting you to join her in a different space. This space is non-literal. It is a psychological space where the rules of the everyday are suspended. In this space, you are not co-parents or partners. You are two people engaging in the aliveness of the present moment. This is a crucial distinction. A touch can be functional, a hand on the arm to get your attention, or a touch can be playful. A deliberate, lingering, or teasing touch that serves no purpose but to connect and to signal. She is in that moment, inviting you to be her playmate, which is the immediate precursor to being her lover related to play. But distinct is the third sign. The creation of a conspiracy of two eroticism Perel teaches often has a slightly illicit or transgressive quality. It thrives on secrets, shared glances, and the feeling of an us against the world bubble. This is not about infidelity or true wrongdoing. It is about the psychological thrill of breaking a small social rule together. When a woman is feeling desire, she will often try to create this private bubble with you. Even, and especially in public, this can manifest as a private joke that no one else in the room understands. It can be a shared knowing, glance across a crowded dinner table when a boring person is talking. It might be her whispering something just for you, her voice dropping to a level of intimacy that separates the two of you from everyone else. It could be the suggestion to skip this or leave early from a social or professional obligation, a small rebellion that prioritizes your shared experience over your duties. This transgressive quality is a powerful aphrodisiac because it creates intimacy through shared secrecy. It reinforces the idea that your connection is special, unique and separate from the mundane rules of the outside world. She's signaling that she's on your team in a world separate from all others. This act of creating a secret space is a rehearsal for intimacy. She's drawing a line in the sand, putting you both on one side and the rest of an orderly, predictable, and somewhat boring world on the other. This sense of naughtiness, even in the most committed and loving relationships, is a fundamental component of desire. She's signaling that she wants to do something bad with you, even if that bad thing is just ignoring your responsibilities for an hour and focusing solely on each other. The fourth sign is a distinct change in the nature of her curiosity about you. In normal everyday conversation, we are curious about logistics. How was your day? What did your boss say? When is your meeting? This is a curiosity of information gathering designed to keep life running smoothly. Erotic curiosity is entirely different. This is a sign of what Esther Perel calls erotic intelligence. It is a curiosity about your inner world. It is a curiosity about the parts of you that are not visible in the light of day. When a woman is secretly desiring you, her questions will shift from the practical to the psychological. She will stop asking about what you did and start asking about how you felt. She might ask, "What's a fantasy you've never told anyone? When was the last time you felt truly alive? Or what's something you're afraid to admit you want?" This is a profound signal. She's no longer interested in you as a provider or a partner in logistics. She's interested in your psyche. She's interested in your passions, your fears, your vulnerabilities, and your own hidden desires. This type of conversation is inherently intimate. By asking these questions, she's signaling two things. First, that she's a safe container for your inner world. Second, that she's interested in all of you, especially the hidden parts. This is the very definition of intimacy. She's probing your mind because, as Perel often states, the mind is the primary erotic organ. She's gathering the mental and emotional kindling necessary for a physical encounter. She's signaling that she doesn't just want your body, she wants the person inside it. And she's willing to explore the complexities of that person. This curiosity is a direct and powerful invitation. This fifth sign is often misinterpreted. Many believe the sign is when a woman dresses up for you. The truth from a psychological perspective is more nuanced. The sign is not that she's investing in her appearance for you. It is that she's investing in her appearance and her aliveness for herself. Perel argues that desire is not just about connection with another. It is equally about autonomy and self-possession. We are most attractive to others when we are most in touch with our own vitality. When a woman is feeling a strong sense of desire, she will often begin to inhabit her own body in a more confident and alive way. This might manifest as her wearing the clothes that make her feel sensual, not just the clothes she thinks you like. It might be a new passion, a new hobby, a professional success that gives her a visible new confidence. She might walk differently, talk differently with more assurance, more energy. This is a signal because she's feeling desirable in her own skin, and she wants that desirability to be witnessed. The act of feeling good about herself or feeling in her power is a profound source of erotic energy. She's not being passive. She's not waiting for you to make her feel sexy. She is generating that feeling from within, and this radiance is an invitation. The true signal is not, "I wore this for you, but I am in touch with my own sensual power, and I am choosing to be near you." While I feel this way, she's offering you the chance to be in the presence of her aliveness. It's a powerful nonverbal signal that she's connected to her own erotic self, and she's open to sharing that energy with you. In many relationships, particularly long-term ones, partners fall into roles. One of the most common and most damaging to desire is the caretaker and cared for dynamic. Esther Perel explains that it is nearly impossible to feel erotic desire for someone you are mothering or managing, or for someone who is mothering. Or managing you eroticism requires equals. A critical, hidden sign of her desire is the conscious and deliberate refusal to play the caretaker role. This is an act of boundary setting that is specifically designed to create space for the lover role to emerge. This might look like her saying, "I'm not talking about the kids' schedules or the household bills tonight. That is not what tonight is for." It might be her actively leaving the dishes in the sink, a task she would normally complete, to come and sit with you. It might be her turning off her work phone, putting away the to-do list, and announcing, "I am off duty." This is not an act of negligence, it is an act of prioritization. She's actively clearing a space for intimacy to occur. She is non-verbally or verbally stating that she refuses to let the mundane logistics of life suffocate the potential for erotic connection. By shedding the caretaker role, she's changing the frame of your interaction. She is signaling that she does not want to be your manager, your mother, or your assistant. She wants to be your lover. She's creating a new temporary contract for the evening. In this new contract, your only job is to be present with each other as two autonomous, desirable adults, not as two co-managers of a household. This boundary is the perimeter wall of the erotic space she's trying to build. Esther Perel often says that desire is rooted in anticipation, not in fulfillment. For many people, the mental foreplay, the imagination, the fantasy, the build-up is as or even more powerful than the physical act itself. The seventh sign, therefore, is her active participation in building this anticipation. Desire does not just happen, it is cultivated. When she wants you, she will begin to co-author the story of your future encounter. This is the text message at 10 in the morning. It is not just a flirty text. It is a text that plants a seed. "I'm thinking about tonight. I can't wait to see you. I have a surprise for you." These are not just statements, they are narrative devices. She is intentionally bringing the idea of your future intimacy into your present-day mind. She's forcing you to think about it, to imagine it, to anticipate it. This cultivation can also be environmental. It can be her setting the stage, dimming the lights, putting on specific music, or telling you, "Don't make any plans for Friday night." She's creating a temporal space for intimacy. This is a crucial signal she's not waiting passively for you to initiate. She's actively engaging her own imagination, the core of her erotic intelligence, and inviting you to engage yours. She is signaling that she is already in the mental and emotional space of desire, hours or even days before any physical contact. She's building the psychological runway for the encounter. This act of building the story is a clear sign that she is not just open to intimacy, she's architecting it. The final and most profound sign is also the one most easily missed. It is not a sign of confidence in the traditional sense. It is the sign of vulnerability. Our culture often portrays desire as a power move, a confident, seductive, come-hither look. But Pearl's work reminds us that true intimacy and profound eroticism are inextricably linked to risk. To truly connect with another person, you must be willing to be seen. The eighth sign is when she shows you a part of herself that is uncertain, awkward, or raw. It is the moment she shares a fantasy she's afraid you will judge. It is the moment she is awkward in her initiation of physical contact, showing that she's not a smooth operator, but a real person taking a real emotional risk. It is the moment she confesses a fear or an insecurity, and in that confession invites you into her most protected space. This vulnerability is the ultimate signal of desire. Why? Because it is the ultimate act of trust. She is not just signaling a desire for a physical act. She's signaling a desire for fusion, for communion. She's showing you her unarmed self-peril, links eroticism to aliveness. And aliveness is not just about joy and play. It is about feeling the full spectrum of human emotion, including fear, risk, and uncertainty. When she's willing to be vulnerable with you, she's signaling that she trusts you enough to take a risk. She is alive in that moment, and she's inviting you to meet her in that authentic, unprotected, and therefore profoundly erotic space. She's not just wanting to sleep with you, she is wanting to be seen by you, and that is the foundation of all true lasting desire.